Meow.
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 Meow. It's just meowing this stream.
Meow.
Welcome back to the Observatory. Ever Sluggy, my name is Trip Starlake, and we're here for a book club book review. We're going to talk about The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a Holmes and Watson style detective duo taking the stage in a fantasy mystery novel by Robert Jackson Bennett. You might know him. He's actually a more famous author than I thought he was. I didn't know that going into this, but neat, cool for him. Today I am joined by Faye, Realm, and probably Toto. We'll see.
Toto with a question mark?
She's napping, so we'll see if she joins. She might just join in chat, but that's okay. That's why we're all squished, because Toto goes on the right side.
Professional eeper, you know.
Yeah, when she shows up, she'll appear on the right. Yeah. So that's us. I guess I have a question to start out with, and that's because out of just curiosity, did you have to read any actual like Sherlock Holmes for like school or anything, or just on your own time?
Just first off, you had to get me in the same room as my English teacher.
Sure.
just because all of them were like, yeah, kind of read whatever you want, you know. I didn't really have like a literary figure in my upbringing, so I've had to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more of the standard stuff. I think the most creative was like, I don't know, someone just randomly shouted, "Oh, let's read Harry Potter." So they're like, "All right, cool, let's do that." That was like, everything else was just on the curriculum.
So Sherlock Holmes wasn't on the curriculum. That's my assumption. I think it's not for a lot of people, but
and that's when like Robert Downey Jr.'s like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I think
was, popping off, and I'm like, why aren't people like for more than just that? Why aren't people really like getting into it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to steal books from school. So what would happen, and this, I'm gonna answer your question in just a second.
No, you're good.
I would go into art class, and I'd have to use a tracing machine for whatever we were doing. And I didn't have to use the tracing machine, but the project required the tracing machine. And then there would be boxes of books that people would just hold in the art teacher's like random room.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that, I got a Sherlock Holmes, I got a Dante's Inferno that was translated, and then I got a with the one with Puck.
Midsummer Night's
Fairy.
Dream.
Yeah, I have a Midsummer Night's Dream. And I stole those from my high school. So, I read it purely because I stole it.
It's not Midsummer Night's Dream.
So, yes. The rest of it was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Because, like, I figured somebody had seen, but the Benedict Cumberbatch or the Robert Downey Jr. film. Or the one with Lucy Liu, even. But, yeah, not a ton of people have read the actual stories. And personally, I have, and I found them to be pretty boring. But,
this doesn't count, but I was a big fan of Case Closed as an anime.
Oh, nice, yeah. Hi, yeah, we are talking about Robert Jackson Bennett. I have read Foundry Side, just Foundry Side, not the rest of the trilogy. But today we're talking about The Tainted Cup, the latest book, which is neat. And yeah, I just wanted to know, cause like knowing how much Holmes you've been like subjected to, I feel like does actually alter your perception of this book. So I was just curious.
That's fair.
I would say, like, I guess, you know, I mean, obviously, you, like you said, you have referenced both Sherlock's plus the original works. So
yeah.
You could have, like, a, you know, what's it called? A different opinion on it. But I think the building up and more dedicated POV of Din definitely didn't make it stand out as a Sherlock Holmes style mystery, which I think helped it.
Right, yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know, I'll give the premise of this book. So, the stars Dinios Cole, and he is a new assistant to Anna. Anna's like a detective who's like a little crazy, and maybe more than a little, and they're like working on a case. They go to this place, and he goes to this house, and there's this guy died because a tree grew out of him. It's really hard to live when a tree grows out of you, I guess. And it turns out that more people died of trees growing out of them, and like lots of stuff happened. But basically, Din is Watson, and Anna is Holmes in this case. But Anna's really weird. She never leaves her house, and she always has like a blindfold on because it will interrupt her perception of the world or whatever. And yeah, one thing leads to another. They close in on the mastermind. Anna makes lots of startling deductions. Din realizes that maybe she really is like the greatest detective because she's like figuring things out like way more in advance than he even realized. And he's like, oh no, I have a secret. She's gonna figure me out. Too. That's I guess the plot. Also, Attack on Titan's there. Kinda.
Yeah, this
All I'm
felt
hearing
like
is there's finally real life consequences to
Yeah.
eating seeds.
Yeah, it's true. Don't eat seeds. You might grow a tree. Not a
felt
watermelon,
like,
a tree.
definitely like definitely felt like the Sherlock Holmes era, with how just like gritty and cold and like muggy the whole atmosphere felt like. Obviously the rough for the people listening to the audiobook, like the rough, English voices. Varied though, very cool.
Yeah.
But I felt like with the names of the different commanders and the
Oh yeah, everybody had
regional
crazy
attendants and
names.
stuff, it felt like Warhammer almost.
Warhammer.
It did, because like like I'm just thinking of trying to hear like Primarchs and oh my god, why am I forgetting the
Yeah.
different names, like the Sanctums and the Imperium, and I was just like, and all these like pseudo German-esque, military type empires, and I'm just like, of course the augmentations too. It was just like, wow.
Oh yeah,
I'm
totally. Yeah, the augmentations is true. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't want to go over the entire plot of the book just because I feel like that takes up so much of our time, and then we don't get to discuss a lot of it. So I guess we kind of started talking about this. Like, how do we think that this book subverted the standard tropes of like the mystery genre or even the fantasy genre? I don't even know. To me, it's kind of steampunky in a way, which can still be fantasy. And I guess, what did you like and not like about the book? Let's discuss. That's a lot of questions. Or actually, I don't know. I never asked this until like the very end, but I would like to know. Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I do like it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it was good. I'm waiting for it to be great.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, like, it was fun. It had a lot going on. It had a lot of ideas, and I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, but you could go harder.
Yeah.
But you should have gone harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I did enjoy it. I thought it was a little plotting at the very beginning, but once they go to the wall, things really start taking off. I kind of was worried that one of the plot points were like, well, I guess the police, because basically they're the police, they're okay though, but it turns out not really, because the police were corrupt too, just not Anna and Din. And I think, yeah, like they really start being like, everything is corrupt, and like these people were just I don't know, exploiting like an entire part of this country and committed a genocide for the benefit of making money, which we can relate to the real world. But yeah, it didn't go quite as hard as I wanted it to. Yeah. It did get there, but not with the same punch. Or a punch that I wanted, I guess.
I think I was kind of waiting on one last egad. What? I wasn't expecting this, and I didn't get that yet.
Yeah.
I know it's a trilogy, but
yeah, and I think the egad was supposed to be the Uhad or whatever. It was actually like behind it all. Like he kind of set everything in motion, and he was like the mole within the police, whatever they're called right now. But like I was like, meh. Because he just was like, well, I did it. So it's like, it wasn't like shocking or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely shifted that climactic fight to the one prior.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Uhad, I knew it. Just knew it.
Yeah.
Not me personally. I mean, like Anna.
Yeah. I thought like, you don't get to see this a lot in fantasy worlds. I think it was actually really neat that Din was dyslexic, and the way they describe him being dyslexic was actually really cool. And that he's like so worried that he'll get found out about it, even though he's doing a very good job at his job, and that he's gonna get fired the whole time because like relatable. People are gonna find out that I'm not as good as I think I am, or that I appear to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know, I think it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the magic-y alchemy system. I thought that was fairly unique. I kind of like the flip on Watson and Holmes, where like Watson's the one with eidetic memory.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. I think that was a fun, because often enough Holmes gets all the good shit.
Yeah, usually.
And so for Watson to have something that makes Watson viable other than just the feedback to Holmes was really nice. I liked that a lot.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Realm, you said you liked how sassy Anna was.
Yeah, I mean, in general, perhaps is because I have not delved as deeply into the mystery, murder mystery, Watson, Anna. All three of them sound like a like their own genre, if I guess if I'm read enough in that area. But I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
What's it called? Of course, you know, all the themes that it gave itself to, steampunk. Like I said, I felt a little bit of like what's it called? Warhammer-esque.
You Warhammer.
You know, like I don't want to say aesthetic like so many times, but just like the feel of like, you know, the whole of the empire and the augmentations, and like you said, like just the little, you know, they're not superpowers, because as you learn later on, everything in their world is sort of like an equivalent. Everything kind of has a cost.
Yeah.
To this type of stuff. So, but I loved Din's idea with the engraver. I just liked, you know, like the different types of, like everything. As much as they were advancing, everything was kind of like coming up behind them in a sort of mysterious way. So like everything was the empire, the people in it, the story itself. Everything was teetering on okay, while things could very easily like knock you off the line, and you just kind of like haphazardly like, all right, like what do I have to deal with now? You know, it was just like,
Right.
it was interesting. It may have played it. It may have played it safe for people who were just like, no, I could see, like, you could have really like dug in deep in these certain things, but it made itself very unique.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think Robert Jackson Bennett is really good at making a very interesting world, and sometimes the plot kind of like it's not bad plot, but it's like it could be a little bit more exciting. I did find that to be the case here a little bit, but at the same time, this is like a Holmesian like inspired story, so like Din has to go ask a million questions to a million people. Like it's just how it's going to be, even though it is different. Yeah, I think honestly, what I thought, I mean, we've touched on the world. I thought the world was pretty cool. The Empire of Canaan and how it works was pretty neat. But I think, honestly, I know I said this a second ago, but I just thought it was so crazy to me how this dude literally, like, he's like, I watched Attack on Titan. I'm going to take the Attack on Titan thing for real, and we even build our walls with the Titans. The Leviathans is what they call them, but they're also called Titans in the book. It's like, dang. And what does that have to do with? I don't think it has anything to do with the actual plot of the Empire. But it was just like, oh, okay.
Homeboy really
Well,
did
it
say, "Wait, let me borrow your plot."
Yeah, hold on. Let me take
Hey,
like
hold up.
the premise of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but you know, in a mysterious way, they say that some of the augmentations and some of the, advancements, of course, for like the noble class with, like what they do to their bodies and their minds and their, and their systems and stuff like that, has mysteriously advanced with the use or misuse of Leviathan.
Oh, you're
So
right. You're right.
it it leaned itself to like what's it called? Like a skewed. They don't even try to say it dystopia, but like a skewed reality of just like I said, it very very gritty, and
Yeah.
throwing those little pieces of mystery, it kind of like made you want to learn like more about the world.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it was just like the doctor that gave Din his augmentations to be able to like hang out in that sanctum area. Like she, it like reminded me of like a hunched over like quack that had like the two goggles with the magnifying glasses that like move automatically or janky and kind of like jut around.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like you
totally.
just made it like like a homebrew, very like attention to details, but enough where you're like, all right, stop TMI. I don't just stop. Just let me just listen to the story. It's more like, oh, interesting. I
Yeah.
wonder how they did that.
I did think it was creepy that they just like they're like because they describe most of the like the stuff like to heal people with as grafts, so I always like kept imagining it as like patches of skin just being slapped on these people. It creeped me out a little bit. Um, but at the same time, I can't really knock it because it's decent world building, and I found it cool like that. There's like keys that they find, and the keys are they unlock like different areas based on the bad people doing the bad things in the plot. And I liked the way that they were described. Like they had three different like little plants in them, and each one would like unlock a different thing or something. Like it was a oh, it's Toto. Hi. It's I don't know how to describe
You're
the
talking
plants.
you're talking about the different augmentations.
No,
Like
no,
what
like the key, like when Din goes and he like
huh?
he realizes that like the lady that was like the assistant to the guy that got killed at the beginning of the book, and he's like sees that there's like a steakhouse, and he goes to the steakhouse and he finds some keys, and then later on the keys get put in a safe and then they get switched out and everything. The way those were made, they were cool.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. Just the details were like,
It's
wow,
just
like
cool.
what? That's so like they made something as dis disingenuous as like a key to be like, wow, what is going on with those keys? Like it looked like a key but didn't.
Yeah,
And you're like, wait, why does Anna know so much about different keys? And then,
because she's Sherlock. But yeah.
fucking Sherlock, yeah.
Hi, Toto. We're actually having just like a general discussion and like asking questions about the book rather than going plot point by plot point this time.
That's all
Um,
good.
yeah. But the general question is thumbs up,
Can we
thumbs
talk about
down.
spoilers though?
Yes, spoilers are totally fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just talking about the book in general, like we're hopping around in the plot, so it's totally fine.
Yeah. No, I really like this book.
Oh, good.
I wish I had. I almost wish we had split it up over like two.
Yeah, I didn't know how dense it was going to be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so like, I guess. I guess it's just fun for a mystery, to like speculate in the middle and be like, oh, who done it.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
definitely felt a bit rushed, but I really like the prose of this book, actually. I thought it was written very well. I thought the world building was very smart. Like, it did a lot of show, don't tell kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the structure of, like, oh, Din goes out and he, like, can memorize all the clues is like, oh, okay, reader, here's your chance to, like,
To figure it out.
take notes and write down all the clues, and can you figure it out?
Yeah.
Before Anna explains everything,
That I definitely wish I did. This is the one book I know I had taken two very long activities and like not ran, I didn't rush, but I ran through the large chunk of the book. And I kind of wish I did take notes.
Yeah,
I was
I kind
that
of wish I
invested.
could slow down a little more for this book. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had known, I didn't know because like when I read his other book, it was like all self-contained. Like I didn't, it was fine. It was like the same length, but I didn't know how hard he was gonna go on the Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
The Titans, yeah.
How could I have known? But yeah, um,
And I like the structure of also like a few like small mysteries that all feed into like the overarching mystery.
yeah, they did.
And it did all make sense in the end.
It did.
The climax, like, yes, there are like giant like Leviathan beasts out there beyond the walls, but that was not the climax of the book for me. The climax was definitely when Anna like goes and is like, here's what happened.
Oh yeah,
Here's
because that's
explanation.
that. I was gonna talk about that later too. Like the whole book didn't felt like I really liked the like Faye said earlier, like the spin that the Watson basically has the eidetic memory instead of the Sherlock, but Anna still got her moment where being like, I know what everyone did, that Sherlock always gets at the end.
Yeah.
But her voice in the audiobook is so funny. I didn't listen to it for that part, but I kept reading everything in her voice after that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was more of the climax. I was also talking about how like it's just like why is it this also Attack on Titan, but it just is.
But like it just is, but like I feel like it didn't have to be. Like that was not important. Like
I know.
it really was not that important.
I wonder if it will become important, but
That's true. I think it was important to like the overall like lore of the world of like why they have like different basically caste system and like how some families like became so powerful.
yeah, totally.
But like the Leviathan like showing up at the end and getting like shot immediately and then it's like, okay, everything's fine. It was like that really was not too necessary. I feel like if this was turned into a movie, that would be like the like in all the trailers and everything. But
Yeah, they
like,
would have showed it, but then the movie wouldn't have even had it in there.
yeah, or like the actual climax is once again like Anna like say like who done it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Realm, I think you're right because you were talking about how like the axioms and like whatever Din is part of what the experiments to get to that point to be the augmented people is like they were using Leviathan stuff. So I think it's definitely going to come into play later. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when.
And Din is an engraver, which is also
Engraver, yeah.
Right. Which is ironic because he cannot write.
He can't actually
and
write.
engraving is for writing.
Yeah. Or it's like too hard for him.
Or,
like
yeah.
I think he can read and write. It's just very difficult because he's just like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has magic dyslexia.
Magic dyslexia.
He has magic dyslexia. Yeah.
Mhm.
Your.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were saying before too that like everything, when you were looking at like what people were doing, like while it was mysterious, they knew that like everything to them came at a cost with these powers. So I guess like it you know, it was kind of cool considering that they did some alchemy type thing. So I was just thinking like, oh, the balance of everything.
Mhm.
In a very grim world.
Yeah, for sure. I like I guess it was you would call it a magic system. It's more like a science system. I like.
Yeah, I was describing it as more it's like a little. It's not steampunk, but it's like a little bit more of a steampunk world where there's tech, but
it's like
Yeah.
botany punk.
yeah, botany punk. Yeah, but it's you're right.
Yeah, it's very
Bio-
alchemy based, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
also liked I think this is something that happens probably like I don't read that many mystery books. So you're gonna have to let me know. But they spend a lot of time with like the forensic side of things, which was really fun.
Oh yeah, they don't. I mean, some do. This one did in particular. I think because I think Bennett really liked that he made this like weird fungi like world and like all the different plants that he made up.
Shroom punk.
Shroom Punk, yeah. Yeah,
Shroom
for like the little pictures I made, I used the UK version of the cover because it's so cool because it has those giant mushrooms in it. It's neat. But yeah, I guess how did your perception of like the Empire change over the course of the story? Like as the reveals were happening, I think like I mean, I like basically said the whole plot, like that rich family like committed genocide for like an entire portion of the population,
Yeah.
just to get money, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, and power over like everybody else, but
Yeah.
still, like they purposefully didn't stop the Dapple class.
That's insane that like
Yeah.
no one caught on to that. You
Right.
know?
I think,
That like they've been puppeting like all these places at the same time. I think.
yeah, but I also think like even maybe people did know and they didn't say anything because there are things happening in our world today like we know this is really bad but we're just one person and we don't feel like we can say anything. Yeah.
Right? It's almost like either they nerfed everyone's intelligence or they're just really committing to the bit that everything is like the dark overseers of the political world and Nobelites and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, it was interesting.
Also, who was that one? I heard the audiobook, so I don't know how to like say or read their names.
No, it's okay.
One like guard guy who was like with the older guard who was like, I'm about to retire.
Oh, Uhad, yeah.
Yeah, no, not Uhad.
Oh, Miljean?
Miljean.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Uhad was like the bad one.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
evil
Miljean
guy,
was
the corrupt
the
policeman.
older-
Well,
Miljean?
he was like not corrupt. He was like super zealot.
Yeah, too yeah,
ended
oh, you're
up
right. It was the
being-
opposite of
He was a
corrupt.
soldier, like yeah.
Yeah,
The opposite
he
extreme.
was like too strict. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other guy had like so many death flags. Miljean was
Miljean, yeah.
I'm gonna retire and go over blah blah blah. This is my last case or whatever. I think he said.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
had so many death flags, and then when they fought the Twitch.
Yeah, the
I almost
Twitch,
said
yeah.
Mhm.
but
Twitch
no,
chat.
They fought the Twitch. I was like, oh, he's so gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna like sacrifice himself for Din and Anna.
I know.
But no,
That is
he
true, that
lived.
definitely
He's
I was,
okay.
like, totally expecting him to die. He's like,
He's okay.
yes, I'd like you to make me some tea at some point.
I thought that the what is his name? I can't think of it. The guy that Din likes was gonna die when the Titan came.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like knighted to be the the special dude to kill the Titan. Or
I will say
Leviathan,
this
whatever.
book had one of, and I know there's books with higher and everything, but this book had one of the highest body counts. I can distinctly
Oh
remember.
yeah, there were so
yeah.
many.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of dead people. That was pretty fun.
A shit ton of people died.
Yeah, and they got like planted.
Or, yeah, they got planted.
It's like reverse stabbed, inside out stabbed.
Inside out.
Also,
stabbed.
like,
It's what your mom told you would happen when you
Eat a watermelon.
oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's where it came from.
You
The
was
consequences
bubblegum and
finally
just like
showed
7
up.
years later you sprout.
Ugh.
If you've seen JoJo Part 6, you've also like seen this happen. Like,
Oh, no.
It also happens in that, but that's more just like random stand power, not actual like reason behind it.
Right.
Yeah, I liked that like there was like so much like evidence, and then like that wasn't even the big mystery of like how they died. Like they figured that out pretty quickly, but then it's like who done it and why.
Yeah, who did it and
And
why?
then the idea that there's like multiple killers out there who have different motives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. There were multiple people doing different things for different reasons, even if they were all
Yeah.
connected, which was neat. Were you able to, this is for everybody, were you able to like piece together the clues and figure it out, or were you surprised by things?
I feel like once again, I feel like I need to slow down and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
see like could I have pieced this together?
Yeah.
'Cause I
I
read it so fast, like I was
yeah.
like, oh shit.
Well, you don't have to read it like 2 days before the stream, you know. But joking. but
Wow, just calling me out.
Yeah, that call out was wild.
you have a whole month.
Oh Holy
You're
shit.
right. No, but I didn't read it until like
I'm joking, but
this weekend.
yeah. Yeah, I read it pretty quickly, but I read it over like the course of a week, I guess.
Yeah.
I on purpose kind of skipped through all that. I didn't skip, but I like purposefully when they would kind of highlight what was happening, because I kind of like it in the movies and shows and stuff when you get to the end and they just kind of spoon feed it to you with a funnel. I'm into that. So I I just kind of like willingly ignored it all to get to the end to be spoon fed everything.
Yeah.
Well, which one is it? Is it funnel or spoon, or are they like
Does it matter?
using a spoon?
What
Does
funnel
it
is
really
that? Come on.
matter?
Yeah.
It can be both.
Why do
You
you
put
need a
the
funnel
funnel
if you
in your
already have a
mouth and
spoon?
then you spoon the information into the funnel.
Why not just spoon it directly into your mouth? What are you
I'm bi, bitch. It's gotta be both.
Oh my god.
Or do you use the funnel as a spoon?
You could.
You know what? I want a video of you using a funnel as a spoon trip.
You just plug the hole at the end. You like scoop, you know.
This
Just
is
one scoop
becoming
of
a
ice
whole
cream.
new stream.
We do right now.
We have to come back. We
Right
have
now.
to come back from this.
Well, what was I going to say? I guess for me, I actually realized, I think because the axiom of big rich big lady was being super sketchy, I just realized I was like, she's part of it, but I didn't know how, and that was really the only thing that I figured out on my
Yeah, I thought she was gonna, or like what's her name? But the Hauser lady.
The noble lady.
own. The
Yeah,
noble lady. I'm trying to find
she
it.
was going to be like the big bad, but no, she was just another pawn in the plan.
Fayazi.
Yeah.
Fayazi Hazas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I realized that she didn't really know anything, but she thought that it would be pinned on her, so she was just trying to cover her ass anyway. And then I was like, oh, that axiom is super sketch. But everything else.
No, I was super sketch about the axiom just because in the audiobook they give him like they give her like the creepiest voice.
Oh, really?
They're like,
Well, yeah,
yes,
because she's
oh,
like,
of course.
That's
don't
funny.
do that."
yeah,
The
because
narrator's giving it
she's-
away.
She's like, what's it called? She's like, pretty much like 100 and something, augmented to look like a really like a cougar essentially. She's like a really young,
Oh, that's a different person.
really
but yeah.
like seductive, gleaming noble, and she's just double her age.
Yeah. She's like 60
Although
years
yes,
old.
it was a bit off-putting.
Yeah.
And then I love the audiobook voice acting. There are other people like, oh yes, of course, I see.
Yeah, I know.
That's like pretty much how they sounded, and it was great.
I
'Cause
know.
You could tell who's talking. I love
The-
it when they do the voices.
Like the head Iudex officer lady had such like a low voice, but you could still tell it was like feminine. It was pretty fun. Whatever.
Yeah.
Immunis, whatever her
Mhm,
name
mhm,
is.
yeah.
I didn't listen to all of it on the audiobook, but the parts that I did were fun.
Poor who was it? Nusa, the girl with the safe. She just,
Nusa's, yeah.
dies. Yeah.
Yeah, she dies.
She she was like so worried and everything.
It's true. Yeah, I think because ultimately Anna knew that it was either like they're gonna go after me or they're gonna go after her. So I'm gonna cover my own ass. Bye. Damn, Anna.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also like how like there was a lot of like sex, but it wasn't like gratuitous, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like mentioned, like, oh, they've been boning.
Yeah. They've been phoning.
Or like, oh, you like planted the poison on them because they all came over for a big old bone zone time.
Yep. Big old bone zoned.
Yeah, and they all
They
got
did go for the
poisoned.
bone zone. That was, I mean, as soon as they
There was,
said,
like,
"Oh,
10
noble
people?
lights," and yeah, they're like, and the people. Well, it like kind of came together when they said, "Oh yeah, these certain people run the world," and then it's like the engineers, and then the noble lights, and
Yeah.
schmoozing, and then the
They're all
boning. I'm like, of course,
invited.
like eccentric nobles just want to do that type of thing.
Uh, speaking of somebody that liked to bone people, what did you think of the way that Commander Bloss was murdered? Like the way that a bunch of people were killed this way, actually, with the tree exploding out of you. I mean, obviously we knew that was going to happen, but I guess from like a creative point of view.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was
Yeah.
great. It's a very creative way to like kill someone. Like it could have been anything, right? Like really, at the end of the day, it didn't have to be tree. It could have been like, oh, your body like rots away, and that's could have been what happened to that one
Yeah.
like state
Mm-hmm.
that they like ended up quarantine off. But I think this makes it like very visual, and if this ever gets turned into a movie, it'll
Yeah.
be, like really iconic. You know,
It could.
just like the image of like a corpse with a tree coming out of them with flowers.
Yeah. That's true. It could be.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know.
The flowers would be so hilariously diabolical.
Yeah, they'd be so
Yeah.
evil looking.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
just mean like it's something grows out of you and it kills you, and then flowers sprout, and it just feels like the last F you.
That's true. That's true. I also feel like, yeah, it's gonna be horrifying for whoever sees it, but the aftermath, if they're just a tree, is it really that awful? I guess if it's like body parts sticking
Imagine
out of
how
it.
you clean that though. What if like
You
roots get
don't.
into the floorboards and stuff?
You don't.
I
You
would
just burn the
say-
house down.
Well,
Just live with it.
just burn it. We'll start over. It's it's all good. We're in the ninth sanctum. It's whatever. I would say it would probably have been more morbid or grotesque. The first interaction you see, like the first Din interaction with him seeing the noble blast, like essentially strut up from floor to ceiling in different parts with the tree,
Yeah.
was pretty grotesque. But if it had been more conspicuous in that you could not recognize that it was a person and it was a missing persons case, and then moved over to the
Oh,
fact
that's
that like
neat.
you open
Yeah.
the bark and it was like, you
Oh,
know,
there's a guy in here. Oh,
Yeah.
it was
a
probably,
person.
well, I was gonna say like mushy, like red, but you know, something like
Yeah.
that, or like maybe like a corner, like a sorry, no, like a
Or, like, the
cocoon
blood
type
starts coming out of
person.
the flowers or something.
Hey guys,
Right.
I just ate. Can we not do that?
That's what Jesus here. You want some crackers? Right.
Speaking
That
of
would have been
puking,
that
though.
would have definitely that would have been something cool, like very like.
I'm gonna go
Damn.
get some tea. When I get back, this conversation
Oh
will be
my
back.
god.
I'll be right back.
I will make sure we continue talking about
Wait,
this.
wait, check your tea. Check your tea. Make sure it doesn't
Yeah,
have
check
any,
your
like,
tea. Make sure it
spores in
doesn't have any
yeah.
dapple glass in it. She's gone.
Oh my god.
All
Speaking
part of the
puking,
plan.
I also think like so like just like 10 people having trees explode out of them is pretty bad, but considering like an entire society, like an entire town, just like everybody was having trees explode out of them, that's crazy.
horrifying, yeah.
Horrible. Like yeah. Cuz at the beginning it was just like, "Oh, that's kind of funny," and a tree exploded out of a guy, and it's like, "Oh no, they murdered an entire like country but this way." Like
And
that's so
I
bad.
think also like it was a good I guess first test for Din because he like vomits of course in like the first crime scene.
Yeah.
But he really develops a lot as a character over the course of the book.
He does. He gets a lot more confident in what he's doing
Mhm.
too. And even when he's put with like hard situations, like when they go to the rookery and he's like, "Oh shit, I can't read that because it's in a different language." Especially he like physically engraves it on his fingers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think like he also like keeps getting incrementally like tougher and tougher challenges, right? Like he has
Yeah.
to fight people, but it's actually the writing that is a harder challenge for him.
Yeah,
Coming to terms with like his strengths and his weaknesses.
yeah. Actually, I
Like,
even
the fighting is actually a strength for him, right? Like he's really good at it.
yeah
but
he's
writing
yeah
is hard for
because he
him.
has like muscle memory as well as like
Yeah.
the everything he sees memory.
Yeah.
Which is neat. So
I
like
like how Anna didn't have like any augmentations, right?
no, I think
Like,
it's heavily implied that something was done to her, but it's not an augmentation.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. She definitely presented it in a way that goes, I have no unnatural, not verbatim, rather, but no unnatural augmentations
like
or
grafts.
implants or yeah. I think it's definitely closer to like the implants.
Yeah.
So
Graft, right?
Grafts. Yeah,
something.
they call them grafts. Yeah. I guess speaking of those, would you want to be magically altered like these guys can be?
Dude, and remember every single thing I see? No, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Are you
Huh.
kidding me?
Well,
Or like
They-
smell every single thing you smell.
That is
No.
true. It was like
But the Axiom one is more like being able to do math really well.
Maybe the Axiom one.
Yeah.
But like, it's fine. I can use a calculator. Like
That's
calculators
true,
exist
it's
in our world.
It's true. We have the technology.
It doesn't need to be a
I would
Mentat over
say
here or anything.
yes, with the caveat that I don't think the Tainted Cup explored an augmentation I would like.
Yeah,
would
More
like
strength
something, it just-
augmentations, too.
right. We'll probably get more later on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
I
would have
was
preferred to have seen something a little different.
the one thing with this book, because like you get in the physical book, you get the map, and then they have like a list of the military ranks, which was useful, I guess. But I kind of wanted a list of all the different kinds of augmentations you could get. But
Yeah.
I know why he didn't do that. It would kind of spoil things. But
But no, I don't want the memory augmentation. This is why forensic scientists carry like cameras when they go to crime scenes.
It's true.
They just take pictures.
just take photos.
They don't need to remember it like a crime scene or a dead body forever in their mind. That would be awful.
That would be really terrible, and that's why Uhad was so like fucked up too.
I know.
Mhm.
Imagine how many times you're scrolling through
Hello.
the internet and you're like, you see something and you're like, well, I would like to unsee that.
Right. I asked.
I don't get to unsee it. I'll like remember it in a dream, and that's just that.
Oh no! So you,
Faye, you're back. So
you
hear me
have
out.
Din's
2
power?
cocoons.
I don't want to
Sorry,
be here
sorry.
anymore.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
Stop.
I just want to do that. I hope you enjoy your tea.
I asked the question: would you want to be magically altered like you can be in this world? I think the answer is no. But
Mm.
from Toto and Realm. Well, Toto's Realm's a maybe. Sorry.
I think I would do it. I'm not sure which one I'd pick, but I'd do it.
You should pick the
Yeah.
math one.
The math one.
Yeah.
The math one is useful. I mean, they're all useful.
But what would you give up?
It would
in
be
return
nice
for
to
that?
actually be able to do math.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be fun.
I want whichever one makes me very balanced. Like I said, for my devil fruit, I want one that makes it so I can't fall.
That's true.
Wibble till they wobble, but never fall over.
Yeah.
Wait, we need to make a trips like wobble. What is it? What are they called?
Oh, like a woobly thing? I don't know what they are. No, that's a crochet.
I didn't know when
Oh.
I said it. I just thought it was funny.
Wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what those are called. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I know exactly what we all mean, but I can't.
We need to make a trips weeble.
Weevil.
Weevil.
That's what they're called.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Trips no longer wants to be a part of this conversation.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be a weevil.
Okay, you, so Faye, you can have the math augment, and your weakness is that you lose the ability to sass me back.
Oh, dang.
Toto just wants me smart and quiet. I'm just saying.
No, I'm kidding, I was expecting you to sass me back immediately after that. I'm surprised by how
Right. Silence.
I was kind of sitting on it and kind of like processing and making sure I was gonna react in a way that wasn't obtuse.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. I'm just messing.
Of course.
Right.
I
What
love
else?
it when you sass me back. That makes it fun.
What would you pick for my augment?
Oh, what would I pick for your augment?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't want to pick something for you. I feel like
You should have the same one as me. No falling.
no falling down.
No, oh shit, you're right. I would make it so
A
I would
permanent
just
helmet.
Yeah, permanent helmet.
So no, I would ask for an augment to give me reflexes like a cat. If that's the case,
Oh.
always
It would
land
just
on my
turn you
feet.
into a cat, idiot.
Oh
A
yeah,
meow meow.
and then you also can't
No.
fall down.
We were meowing at the
Oh, no,
beginning
you
of
did.
stream.
We were
Right.
We
So
were
I
meowing.
think the con, which I don't know if it's so much as a con, but perhaps I would be maybe I'd be a bit more hairy, and then I have like cat eyes. I think that would be a
Realm, what you're describing is you just want to be a cat boy.
You just want to be a woman with PCOS? You can have mine.
nor.
You can
What
have
do you-
my hormone disorder. That's fine. Oh, you'll grow hair like a motherfucker, dude.
I already have enough hair. You see my beard, man?
You said you just said you wanted more. You can have mine.
Oh man.
Oh no!
So
If I got an augment, I would want big boobs. Yeah, bigger boobs.
You can have mine.
Oh.
so what would be the con? What would be taken away?
No facial hair.
That was my next question.
body hair,
The
no
magic in
face
this world
hair.
has a cost. What is the price you're willing to pay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big boobs for no body hair. Thank you.
That's only upsides.
Win-win.
Sounds like 2 pluses.
That sounds like a win-win. That doesn't sound too fair.
Oh.
I guess you get the back issues with the big boobs.
Yeah,
That's
And
true.
then, like, nothing will ever fit the same ever again.
that's true.
And you'll stretch out every shirt you own.
For never being able to fall again, I can no longer swim, just like
Damn.
You really thought this out, huh?
Yeah, I really thought this out.
Instead of that, why don't you just turn yourself into like a soft substance so that even when you fall, you
Oh,
just bounce
yeah.
back up.
It's a
A
lime
substance
trips.
like rubber, perhaps.
Yeah. Just like that. It is what I want, though. I would
Oh,
love to
you
not be
tricks.
so clumsy.
It's okay. Clumsiness is an endearing character trait.
That's true.
It's fucking not.
It is endearing, even though you're injuring
Scrap it.
yourself all the
It's
time.
done.
It's
I
endearing for other people.
I guess it's fair. I have vertigo, so like more than half the time I'll just be standing still and then lean severely to one side and then right myself and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Soft serve ice cream and melt in warmer temperatures.
What? Oh, no.
That's what Chaos said. The downside if I'm soft and squishy is that I'm soft serve ice cream and I'll melt in warmer temperatures.
You gotta stay in the cold.
Yeah, I gotta stay in the freezer box. So
Yeah, all you need is a din to carry around your icebox.
Yeah.
I think my next question that I have written is, what do you think about the motivations of the final killer? And I said final killer, but I think there's like multiple killers, so I guess like,
Yeah.
do we think all of these people were justified in their murders?
Okay, the Hausa,
The Haza people?
yeah, are like definitely not.
No,
they
no.
sucked.
No,
they
they
were so awful.
they committed a genocide. Like, no.
Yeah. And like the people who were like trying to get revenge, the people from what was it, Obliette?
The Oipat.
Oipat, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is the problem with audiobooks is I don't see the words, so
Yeah.
I don't remember them. Yeah, I feel like they were pretty justified though. They were like trying to poetically get revenge on the people who screwed them over and killed their whole country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to like say that it's like, well, they sucked it, then they're rich, and so eat the rich, or
Yeah.
grow a tree out of the rich, I guess.
Well, yeah, literally, some of the the nobilites or the engineers were like, "Oh yeah, that thing we fucked up with like years ago. Oh man, that was a shit show, wasn't it?" And so you're just like, "Oh come on, he's buried yourself, man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for Uhad, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's. I think the commentary that was being made is like he wanted to do something about the injustices, and he wanted to,
Take matters into his
yeah,
own
take matters
hands,
into
I
his own
guess.
hands, yeah. Instead of like trying to appeal to like a higher power to help him out. But it's like maybe nobody would have helped him out, because the entire time that they were working on this case, when the Hazas came in, they were like, don't fuck it up, don't imply them with anything, because if they don't give us money, we're all gonna be screwed over, which is, kind of what's happening in today's society.
Did try or something. No, he didn't.
No,
But,
he
like,
didn't. Yeah.
It turns out like they were on it already, and they sent Anna in, and Anna was like
Yeah.
undercover agent, like yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas they were like vigilantes, basically.
Yeah. Like Anna was the person that was like trying to take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't know till the end, although I was curious.
What if
Yeah.
Anna is secretly like royalty or something,
Probably.
and she just does this for fun to protect the empire or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the book, they were gonna go talk to like a big old
Yeah, and
fancy
she's
person.
Someone super important. Apparently.
Yeah. Somebody important. I don't know.
I love Anna. She's great. I love a lot of the character dynamics in this.
Yes. Although I did really like that everyone she talks to, other than Din, she like talks to them for like hours and hours and hours, and she doesn't know that she's talking to them for like 5 hours, and they want to leave, but everyone is too polite because she's like a higher up ranking than them. uh, we talked about this earlier, but like, I don't know. What do we did the Leviathan thing, the Titan things even matter in this story? Like, they did because they were like a threat to the society, but that wasn't really the problem here.
They will later, but
Yeah.
like, they didn't currently matter.
They don't currently matter,
yeah. I think every characteristic plot device was literally just a device to create the world. Like I think literally 85% of it was just, oh, let's have Din like create this world, and then in the background, Anna is just gonna like pretty much wrap this in a nice little bow. You're just gonna have character growth, build the world. Anna will save the day, and then I think it'll matter much later. At least I hope so. I mean, like, fuck, if you're gonna put Titans in your story, do something with them. Find some shady underground lab or something.
I think a lot of the fantasy aspects were not like the important things in this book.
Yeah.
A lot of more was like the character motivations and the like. Help me out here. The mystery, I guess, like the
Yeah, like because
actual...
like you could say that the Dapple Glass was like a fantasy fungi thing,
Yeah.
but like a lot
but it
of
could have easily, if you replace that with like a poison,
yeah,
or
then
like
it's
a
like
disease,
yeah,
like, or a virus or something, it wouldn't have made a difference on the overall plot.
right.
And if you replace like the Leviathan with like enemy armies attacking,
That's true.
also would not have made much of a difference.
Yeah.
But I think they are nice to have in the book to give the book a nice setting and identity.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, it is interesting. It's they're neat. I think it's weird that it was like exactly like Attack on Titan because, like I said earlier, because like they're literally even like repairing the walls with the Titans or whatever. But I hope I hope that in the sequel we find out more about them and like they have more weight on the plot if they're going to be like the fantasy thing.
Like probably inspired somewhat by Attack on Titan, but the way that the direction and the focus of the plot is so much different.
Yeah, so different.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're right. I'm only bringing it up a lot because when this book first came out, a lot of people like on like book Reddits and whatnot were like, people are saying it's Attack on Titan, and I'm only halfway through Attack on Titan. Can I read this book? And it's like, yes.
Yes, it is nothing like
just
Attack on
read
Titan,
this book.
like...
So it was a lot of concern around it. So it's like at the forefront of my mind.
The motivations of the characters, like none of the characters' motivation is I need to kill all Titans and get it.
There's no Eren Yeager. It's okay. Thank God. Thank God. There's no
Eren. Din is way more of a twink.
No Eren Yeager.
Thank God. But yeah, it's a lot more. I think we didn't get to like actually understand a lot of what the Empire is about, but there is like the mantra at the end of the book, like you are the Empire. And I suppose that could be interpreted as like your actions make the life that you live to be like we all function as a society type of statement. But what do you think? What do you think about how the Empire acts, especially in these situations like this, because they kind of enabled like Oipat to fall and stuff. Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of dysfunctional parts in the bureaucracy, like people who let like Uhad just like have whatever power he needed to like investigate his own crimes and become like lead investigator there, or like the people who just like let random orgies happen at the noble houses that poisons all of them and cause them to die in horrific ways.
Yeah.
Like, there clearly is not enough oversight in this empire.
That's true. It's like they're letting things happen, but they also have Anna. They've clearly sent Anna out to like root it out. But
right. They
why,
send one person.
why just Anna?
I know.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know.
and then like the Hausa family has like a freaking assassin just like running amok and stabbing people
Yeah.
in the city. Like, the empire, I feel like, is probably spread too thin, especially since they also have to deal with the Leviathans. And that they did deal with successfully, and that was probably like what they were focused on.
Mm-hmm.
But like, clearly there's not enough like people caring.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
It gives very much the sense of an empire in decline.
Yeah, it's definitely Empire in Decline. Like they keep talking like everyone that like approaches Din is like, "Oh, you're only here because you're sending money back to your family, right?" So is everybody. Like the only way to get money is to be part of the army.
Really, I felt like it was the opposite. I felt it was like a vastly expanding empire, and that
I think they
everything,
can't
all
expand.
the problems,
because of the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it did mention that they're like that. You know, people had thoughts of going into deeper territories. I don't know how per se, because you did have the illustration.
Oh,
I just felt
I posted it in the Discord. It's in the Discord.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't take a
Book reader
Yeah,
chat.
didn't take a good look.
Yeah.
I just felt like, you know, an expanding empire, and then many of the faults of what came before or what will come are kind of falling through the cracks. So like people take advantage
Mhm.
of a society like that. But I guess you could probably I guess check it in both, because if you know if they're cracking down on what they have, then obviously people can take advantage of that anyway.
Well, here's the deal. Like, you see, like, the Hausa family, they're so rich because of how they used to take down the Leviathans when they were smaller.
Mhm.
And that's how their family came to power in the first place. And now, instead of, like, you know, being leaders and helping, like, the empire, they're just, like, screwing over other places, like Oipat, to get more money for themselves. It's like a very rich get richer kind of situation.
Yeah. You know, you're right. Thank you very much for joining the observatory. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Like, I think you're right that they probably do want to expand so that there's like more resources for everyone. But like currently the empire is in a place where like there's not enough resources for everyone,
Yeah.
and everyone's like self-serving.
Yeah.
Which is what makes like Din and Anna special, in that they are more, well, they're not exactly selfless, but they're trying to find justice at the very least.
Yeah.
Right. They don't exactly fit into the mold, or like into the drudge of like how everyone's trying to survive. It's just like
I think part of that is also because they aren't they haven't most of the people that we run into in this book is what was I gonna say? They're in Talagray, which is like the very like at the edge of the wall, where the first line of defense for the Titans. And all these people are just, they're so like constantly like having to like have their adrenaline spike, and they're so tired of that, and they don't have time to like think of anything about themselves because they're constantly potentially going to die. Like their lives are threatened a lot more often, whereas Anna and Din don't come from that area, so they just don't have that trauma yet. Yeah.
Definitely gave Boony type vibes, because it was like you either stay there to do academy things, or it's like a country, you know, I'm not trying to emphasize countryside because that would imply nice, but like countryside for the folks who can pretty much just do whatever they want.
Mhm.
Or it was either literally like land for the rich, military school, or mud.
Mud.
You
Yeah.
know, it was just very like, and of course that kind of makes sense in a sense. It's almost like a war zone where you have like things set up very like this is all we have. At the post office, a military academy. Got
Yeah.
some rich
You have
bloke
to
who
serve
just
the
wants
country in
land, and
some
then there's
way.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the author did a really good job, considering we are like talking about the politics here.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of like. I mean, I liked. It didn't go crazy.
Oh shoot.
Crazy into the no, like the okay, I liked how the politics weren't like too inundated, but you kind of got that second,
Okay.
or first person perspective on like how it was like nobles, people who are trying to thrive or trying to survive, the people working on the wall, and then everything kind of like sums up into, oh, there's plenty of cracks between everything, and you're just like, and it's probably, which is why I liked how Anna and Din don't fit the mold exactly.
Yeah.
Which is cool that like I said, in the instance of pros and cons, that people are able to find each other like that.
Mhm.
Which as you go along, you find more humanity, or more imperfections in people, not just the standard, oh, well, I forgot the term for the physically augmented brute, um the guy that starts on an M.
Oh, Miljan.
Milgen, yes, that he, besides him being a physically augmented, strict brute of a warrior, you kind of figure out that he has you know, his own feelings once you crack the exterior, and you kind of find that with like as you go along. So it's like, you know, they give themselves all unique characteristics once you start to piece together like the empire itself.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
considering we've gone into a few books that have gone very political.
Yeah.
Not very. I'm not talking about like jumping off a bridge type, like extremist stuff, but like
Memory Called
kind
Empire is
of like
pretty
Memory
cool.
Called Empire gave it a very
Yeah. Yeah.
floaty feels of, oh,
Floaty.
please.
They killed the
Well,
king for political purposes.
no, you
Or
know
the
what I'm
king
saying?
killed
Like
himself.
when they
I
had the
don't know.
ball,
Yeah.
they were all talking in poems, like high society. It's just very rooty tooty, and then dig you in with the, oh, we have this revolution coming amongst us. It was like,
I like when we let Realm talk and like the cork board with the red string comes out and he just starts making conclusions. And it's my favorite thing in the entire. It's why I won't talk a lot. Is I just let Realm go and I
it's
never
ironic.
know where he's gonna end up.
It's true because
I'm
I'm like,
interlapping
okay,
I'm
where are we
interlapping my
going?
fingers. I'm interlapping my fingers in that sort of instance. Well, I guess long story short, it felt very rooted politics.
Yeah, it was. And I think I guess I anticipated that. Because I read one of his other books and it was like actiony and fun, but in the end it was all about political stuff. Um, this one was more so about political stuff, I think. But I don't know. I think it's neat that, like, I mean, when you're writing a fantasy mystery or any book, really, like, you're gonna try to take your own spin on current issues. At least a
That's
lot of
true.
mystery books are, I think. And
I
he,
do like that it didn't really like force its own like conclusion.
yeah, no, it
It
doesn't.
set forth the world and a lot of the political intrigue, and then you get to make your own conclusion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also think, you said something about Anna and Den at one point and it reminded me that I thought I don't know. Like Anna, of course, she's very smart, I guess. What the heck is the word? Prescient? Not prescient. Notices things easily. And
Cognizant?
cognizant, yeah, that's the word. And observant too. So like the reason why she picked Din was because he cheated on his test.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh,
picked
yeah.
him because she knew that he cheated on his test. And
I
was like,
love
oh.
at the end. It's like, I have something to confess. I cheated. And
And
she's
she's
like,
like,
yeah,
yeah, duh.
I know.
Yeah, it was really obvious, dude.
Yeah, no fucking
Yeah,
shit.
like, did you not see like the part last chapter where I literally solved the whole mystery? Like, and you think that I couldn't realize that you cheated on a test?
Yeah,
the way
like,
they
that's-
did in the book.
Yeah, because she's like, that's why I picked you, because like you're willing to like bend the rules, you know, for the greater
And
good or
work hard,
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It was neat. And also explained why I was like, why? Because at the beginning of the book, Din gets beat up by this guy, and I was like, why is he doing that? And now I realize why at the end of the book.
Yeah. And at the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, that guy's a bitch. But it turns out, like, he was right.
He was
cheat.
right. He did cheat. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what's his name?
Uhad?
Uhad, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost call him Unga Bungaloo, but
Yeah, that's fine.
Uhad.
Unga
Turns
Bungaloo
like,
is
Uhad
okay.
was like kind of like right about everything. Like the houses were bad people.
Yeah.
Din did cheat, but like I think that is also like kind of where Anna stands in the middle. Like obviously the houses were corrupt, but you also can't be so strict to the rules that you end up hurting people, right? Like that's the problem with Uhad was he was so willing to like do what was like righteous that he ended up hurting a lot of people from it. A lot of innocent people who didn't deserve it.
Yeah. I think this I agree with Faye's statement at the beginning where you said like it didn't go quite hard enough in some areas, and I kind of agree with that, but at least I think it did a good job of touching on everything. Like everybody was wrong. Like every institution was wrong at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was nice at least. Because I was really worried they were going to be like, the Iodix did nothing wrong.
That would be obnoxious.
Yeah.
I think because I went into it knowing, because I did some research prior to reading it, like I knew it was going to be at least 2, if not 3 books. Now I know it's going to be a trilogy. I'm excited for the other 2 books because, like I said, it was good. I'm waiting for it to be great, and I think these other 2 books have the potential to tie this up in a really cool way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed this book though. I thought most importantly, I thought like the prose was really good.
Yeah,
just
Robert
like
Jackson,
the way
yeah,
descriptions were written.
He does a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple, like maybe 10 to 15 too many ma'ams and sirs, but it's okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of ma'ams and sirs. And it was annoying in the audio because they say ma'am like mom.
Yeah, mom.
So I'm like,
I was trying to say, Mom.
why are you calling her your mom?
I know. I totally agree, but actually this kind of brings up, there's one line I tabbed because it grossed me out so much that I needed to say it out loud so we can all experience it again. So, who is this? Yeah, so it's at the end of the book where they're at the party after they like solved the mystery quotation marks, and before the real reveal happens, and Din is talking to Uhad about how like he's retiring and he's going to like a nice place or whatever, and Din thinks to himself, an odd pair we were then, like 2 insects from some bizarre species, with one forcefully inseminating another. Yet he was filling up my mind with facts. I was like, this is horrible! Like, everything was fine until that line. Yet he was filling up my mind with facts and data information instead of...
What made you think 2 insects inseminating one another? First of all, insects don't do that.
Like, Din, what the fuck?
Like, what?
Robert Jackson Bennett, what the fuck? It wasn't that.
Why?
The only thing I
It
could.
was one of those moments that like I read that and I was like, "Hey, I have a question."
So like, hey yo, what the?
It was so weird because none of the other the book is not like that at all. It's just that one line. I don't know.
Like if I took that one line and was like, "Hey, go read this book. Here's this one line." Nobody would ever read this book.
It's so weird.
I would be institutionally. I would get a grippy sock vacation.
Go read a Griffey Sock Vacation. Wow. I'm sorry for laughing so hard. I'm very tired, actually. But
No,
yeah,
you're good. It makes me feel funny.
you're right though, Toto. The prose is great, except for that line.
Yeah. You're right. I totally forgot about that line until you said it. That also jumped out at me like,
What? Like, wait, what?
there were so many better analogies or similes you could have used there.
Like,
Why that one?
so many words. So many words you could have said. You could have said nothing. You could have left that out even. It didn't really matter. Oh. But yeah. Yeah, I also, I mean, Uhad himself as a character, aside from being, like, way too Justice Boner, he is, like, kind of a reflection in who, Din can become, so I thought that he had a neat multi-purpose character case. I guess that leads me to saying I thought that all the characters actually had purpose. There wasn't a ton of people that were just, like, there. Like, you could tell why everyone was there, even if you didn't get, like, their full personality or anything. And I was really worried that Miljan was going to be terrible, but I ended up really liking him.
Oh, yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also one girl who was like in the bath and Din like walked in on her and she was like having snails regrow her arm or something?
Yes. Oh my god, that was one thing too. I was like, oh my god, snails are the key to life.
Wait,
Yes,
what was that
it was
girl's
one
name? I
of
forget. I don't think she showed up
It was
again,
one
but
of
she
the
was like,
No,
like
she was-
deceased
yeah.
lovers.
Yeah, she was one of the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that got hit from the explosions of the walls, and I don't know her name.
yeah.
But and yeah, they like were wheeling in like a weird octopus hand to attach to her in the end.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
But also, like,
Hot.
she was like naked and buff and gay, and
Yeah,
like,
she
okay.
was.
Hot.
Hello.
Yeah, they
Except,
did-
please wipe the snails off your hand, please.
For the first half, for
Howard?
the first half of the book, they were just like, "Oh, this woman is exceptionally handsome," and
I know,
and
right?
yada
They
yada.
described
And I
her
was
as
just
a
like,
handsome
"Damn, this
woman.
is like tomboy heaven. What the fuck?
I
That's
know,
awesome."
yeah. But she wasn't that important, I guess.
No.
No, it was just like more than a coincidence. They just kept referring to half the people there as just like tall, handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insert gender here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were all like buff people working the walls or whatever, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Also, I didn't really buy maybe I have to reread it, but I didn't really buy the romance between Din and what was his name? Strozzi?
Oh, Strovie? Yeah.
Strovi, yeah.
I think it was kind of just like a this sucks, let's make out kind of situation, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I don't think it was
Yeah.
really a
Like,
romance.
I like that he was gay, or at least bi.
He's bi,
but,
definitely,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, but like, wasn't really necessary. Nothing really came out of it anyway.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all stream to bring this up. I appreciate that he is bi, but they do not present him as gay. Like, so, I mean, obviously, but what I mean is, like, in a lot of ways, in a lot of media, bi people are presented like bi women are either hyper femme or like,
Oh yeah.
I don't like the term butch, but butch. And then masculining, I guess is what I mean to say. And then in bi men, you see a lot of like hyper. What was that term they used in the early
Effeminate?
2000s? Yeah, just hyper
Oh,
effeminate.
metrosexual.
Yeah.
Metrosexual, yeah.
Right.
It's like fine, sure, but like not fair. This is not a fair way to like express these people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
I
like
like
that
it.
he's like, yeah, he's like awkward, non-emotional, like kid.
Yeah.
Dyslexic kid, yeah.
Mhm.
Who also happens to be bi.
What was you said? What would you say earlier, Realm?
Yeah, what'd you say before stream?
Oh man, I must have hit my head hard. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You
Say
liar!
it!
What did he say? What did he say? I wasn't here for it.
Yeah, totally get to
I
hear.
felt a bit of a autistic connection with the kid.
Didn't.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeah, just no, just kind of like rummaging. You're kind of rummaging your way around. You know, he was just very like, oh, like
Trips
Like
and
you
I
said,
like
he
the
was-
term autistic connection.
It was funny and
Yeah.
cute.
called Tizriz. You know, it just kind
Tizriz?
of happened.
The taste
Oh my god!
Just kind of happened. No, he was like okay. I was also not really convinced about like the relationship. It was definitely we're all doomed in this cruel world. Let's bone
Yeah.
or let's do something.
Yeah, it's like we'll never
But
see
I'm
each other
happy.
again. So
I'm happy he just kind of like, all right, he stated it. They enjoyed the night, and then like it moved on. I wasn't in the murder mystery for
yeah.
that particular, especially considering the only romance mentioned is you're talking to the people whose partners died in an explosion or a big
Yeah.
conspiracy, and you had this old husky like noble lady trying to seduce you with her augmented pheromones, and you're just like, what the so like it hasn't been any indicator that romance is like
No.
live and thriving at least, you know, alive, yes, thriving, not so much. So I'm just very happy. I was just like, all right, Din's growing again.
Yeah.
Here's something. Let's move on.
I forgot about the augmented pheromones. That sounds like fun though.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
But I don't know. That's also like super creepy.
Yeah, no, it
To
wouldn't be
make
great
someone
long
like
term.
super like, because he could barely speak at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
less fun.
Like, yeah, that was like very like nothing ended up happening other than
No.
like he figured out the mystery and he's like, oh, you lied, and he
Mhm.
like got the heck out of there.
Yeah.
But
He ran away.
yeah, that could have taken dark turns.
It
you know?
coulda. Yeah.
And you've been hinted that it has turned bad for a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
to fall under her, like, for lack of a better term, like her spell.
Yeah, because like Anna implies anyway, or she says that like, oh, she wants you to go inspect because you're young, and so she thinks you're not going to do a good job, and she could just seduce you or whatever.
In
And
her
she
way, she's
tries.
like, yeah. And she'd probably want to get you seduced.
Yeah, Fayazi, she tries, but she does not
Yeah.
succeed.
And she like tries to like bring in like a court dancer girl or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like, what about boys? If this isn't your liking, but it's like all clearly to try and like get.
Yeah.
That's how they work, right? That's how they got a ton of people under their thumb.
Yeah. It's true. And I wondered if this would be the same, because in his other book, like, there is, like, a lesbian romance starting at the very end, but it didn't matter at all until, like, the very, very end. And he did the same thing. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's the only.
But
That's
that's
the only,
okay.
like,
I
did
mean,
you want to hit a quota or something? Or
I think it was just, like, there's nothing else to do, so we banged for 3 days, and then I left. Like, I don't know. Like,
What?
sure, because it was...
3 days?
It was more
Did
than...
I think I missed that.
Great.
It
Or
was
3 days.
No,
gay?
it was
Man,
more
that
than
Tiz
like
Riz
a
got you
day. It was
going.
like, here, I'm gonna see.
3 days is too many.
Okay, it wasn't 3 days. I took him
Okay.
by the hand, and together we returned to the city to find what sweetness we could find in the few days we had. So they just like went on dates or something. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna say 3
Probably
days
held
of
hands. Ooh.
straight up shenaniganery is
Rude.
too much.
So maybe twice or something. I don't know.
Lots of hand holding. Don't forget that.
Lots of hand
It's okay. It
holding.
wouldn't be straight up. It would be gay up.
It was gay up. Yeah.
Hand holding means impreg. Wait.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Holding hands before marriage with no gloves.
Horrible. The scandal.
Scandalous.
Uh,
They're
yeah.
doubles. They have gloves.
I am glad that it sounds like we all enjoyed this book. I was really worried. It's like,
No,
what
I
if
really
people
enjoyed this
hate it?
book. I
No,
really think
I
it's
worry
fun.
every time though.
Yeah, to
You
be
can
fair,
stop.
Trips has felt very comfortable giving us some books that we've ripped to shreds.
It's true.
And so now we've just traumatized her into fear.
Oh no,
Which
it's like,
book
I
did we
guess
rip to shreds.
well,
I don't think
the princess and the grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, Trips is
yeah.
holding on to that
But-
one actually.
No, but the thing is, like, I was so mad at the book. I was like, why is it so bad though?
But you also didn't like it that much.
No, I didn't like it either. But
Like, it was good, but it wasn't great. I wanted more from it. Was problem.
No, I get the
It
fear more
it
so
needed
is that
more cooking.
since it feels like you're reading a book like for me. I know it's not just for me, but like, it feels like I don't want you to have a bad time, That's my fear.
Listen, this is why we need at some point to just choose an awful book to read together, and then everything will be fine. Because
Yeah, then we can
no
like dress up as
experience will be as bad as
characters.
that one.
You heard
Act it
it, Trip.
out.
See, they just consented to reading Icebreaker.
I
There
was
you
about
go.
to say it.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't think any of us
We'll
would
do
like
it,
that
and
book.
then like
No,
it's also
no, I
good because
wouldn't
then
do
we
it, you
can be
guys.
like that. This is what we hate about books, and we understand now.
We could just be the
understand.
evil villains of TikTok and then just pound all of their books and tell them why it's terrible.
That's true.
I'm down to do that.
Definitely get you some views.
I mean, I wasn't actually. My next pick is not Icebreaker, unless we really want to read
No,
Icebreaker.
no, Trips, I was kidding.
Okay, the hockey romance, but
No.
yeah.
What kind of hockey? Armament?
Not the
Bunkers
the
hockey?
straight kind of hockey.
Yeah.
Observation?
Oh my god.
I wish it was armament, but instead
Let me just read it.
it's normie hockey.
And I'm just messing.
Faye down for the villainy, yeah. It's true. Oh yeah. Before let me see if I can like share this. Doesn't matter. Cause since we all liked it, I shared this thing. Or I found this review, this like 0-star review of the book. I just thought it was kind of funny.
You're a
Oh,
fart,
I'm
man.
excited.
Zero-star reviews are
I
always
know
so
I'm
funny,
weird, but that's a little
though.
much.
Right? This is like the most scathing one that was like not like way too long. Let's see. Here we go. Da da da. It's too tiny. Why is it so tiny? Yeah, there we go. The best I can say about this book is that some other readers really enjoyed it. I fell into the group that did not. It was a slog of a read with uninteresting characters, an underdeveloped world, and a less than interesting plotline. It borders
What
on
underdeveloped world?
yeah,
What?
it borders on 0 of 5 stars, but that is not an option here. Like, oh god, dude,
I
damn.
think it's a self-report that
Did
some
they
people just
read
can't
the
read.
wrong book?
Yeah, I think it just determined they can't read.
Yeah, they can't read. Also, this person looks. If the photo in the review is like who they actually are, they're like 50, 60. So maybe it's just not for them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did they blindfold themselves and try to read it with their hands like Anna does?
yeah. They really wanted to get into the story.
Maybe they do, and they're like, "Damn, I'm not unique anymore." 0
Not
stars.
unique anymore. 0 stars. Yeah. They tried to read at their fingertips. Actually, that's a cool augmentation. But apparently she's not augmented. That's not an augmentation of hers.
No.
I don't know.
She just does it for funsies.
Just for funsies. I read with my fingies.
Speaking of Anna, though, while I was reading, I just keep imagining. Okay, this is pretty specific, so I posted the pictures in the Discord. But
Oh!
in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the like fairy gym leader, who like basically takes on the like little gay boy as her apprentice. I just imagined them as
He's
like,
that. The thing is, they
Jen and
only
Anna.
mention it once, but he actually has on one of those like cone triangular like straw hats on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does, and it's like shown if you like zoom in on the American cover, you can see there's like an outline of what's supposed to be him, and he has one of those hats on, but it's like never ever mentioned, so I totally forgot.
Like the Asian style straw hats, or
Yeah,
like these
yeah.
like wizard party hat.
The Asian style ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how I pictured him at all. I guess I totally missed.
I know, right? I found it on I found fan art of it on Tumblr. I'll try to find it again. It was
And I
cute.
feel like I need to go back and like pay more attention because like a lot of the descriptions like only happen like once for characters. I'm like,
That's true. That's kind of
I do
weird.
not form a good picture of them in my mind.
I know. I would agree with that. Except for Anna. Anna has a really extreme like
Oh yeah,
exam like description,
But
and everybody else.
that's
it's like,
because Anna is like you see her multiple times too, though.
yeah,
Stratton. She's like very quirky.
that's true too. Oh, I can't find it anymore. Oh well. I should have saved it when I saw it. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I guess we can give our star and slug ratings. Infographic on what that is in the making.
Okay, so star rating is how much we like the book. Slug rating is how much we would recommend
Yes.
to the slugling, to the readers.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to go first?
I don't think I should go first. I don't think I should go first since I came late.
Okay. Let's go left to right then. Faye, you're up.
Yeah, I got you. Let's see. The slug is
The slug is.
Slug is recommend.
Yeah.
And
recommend.
star is how much you like.
Oh, okay, perfect. The slug I would recommend. It's out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool, perf. Slug I would do a solid like 8, 9 out of 10. Just because it was fun, it was different. It had enough of familiar flavors that you're comfortable reading the book, but it's still different.
Mm-hmm.
And for a personal rating, it was different than what I've been reading in my downtime, which is really nice. Anything that takes me away from romance for a little while is really nice. So I'm gonna do a personal 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's high praise.
Nice. That is pretty good. Well, I've made enough crockpot theories in the last like hour and a half to say that I have thought about this book a bit, just a smidgen,
Just a bit.
just a wee bit.
Just one wall of your house covered with red thread.
Uh-huh. Honk. Yeah, so slug rating, I would say, like Faye said, enough familiar points that something will grab your attention. Unless you're just so... I know some people who are just distinctly fantasy. I'm not reading it. I don't care what else it has. It just ain't my cup of tea. But I'm insisting that people at least try it. So I'll probably give it like 7.5, 8. It's just a very like, and now that I've learned from you that this author has a lot more works under their belt as well. I would say that, like, hey, you want a great author that works something in the I don't want to say subtle, but in the familiar territory of a story without getting lost in something. I'd say a lot of people would probably enjoy it. Whether or not I know their recommendation or their tastes are not
Yeah.
subjective. I would say, yeah, I give it like a same 7.5, 8. It is. I know my like ratings are usually very skewed for abject reasons, but I think it was just a pretty good book, and I don't have the dense Sherlock Watson experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it is neither a boring thing or I would be tired of the concept. It was refreshing. It had all the things I really like. And the audiobook was awesome. And from the illustrations you've shown, it's fleshed out. So I liked all of that.
Mm-hmm. Neat. Where should I start? So I was really worried going into this book because even after I picked it, I was still a little worried for myself because I've read Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes for school, and I thought it was one of the most boring things I've ever read because it was like, I don't know, not what I wanted in mystery, I guess. Very dry. But I was like, well, we'll be okay because I've read Robert Jackson Bennett's Foundry Side, and that one had really good world building, so at least we'll have that, right? But it was more than that. He's grown as an author a lot. All of his characters like actually have a place, and they all felt like they had a really good, I don't know. Everybody had their own story, even if we didn't get to see it, I think. It was pretty well thought out. And the mystery was really well thought out. I like that there was multiple layers to it, and it wasn't dry and boring. So yeah, I liked it. Subjectively, my slug rating would be I don't know, probably like a 7 or 8. Like, it's not like the first book I would recommend to someone, but if like it was somebody that wanted like a mystery, it probably is definitely the number one I would recommend. I don't read a ton of mysteries though, so shrug. And then for my personal, I think it's my personal rating, my star rating is probably like an 8. Like, it wasn't the most perfect book, but I really liked what it's throwing down, and I'm interested enough to read the sequel. So, yeah. Because I didn't read the sequel to Foundry Side, so yay! Robert Jackson Bennett's growing on me. That's it.
Yeah. I guess for me, slug rating, I think I'd give this a 7. I can see people who are not super into mystery or political intrigue not being very interested in this book, or
Yeah.
fantasy. But for people who are even like mildly intrigued with like creative fantasy world and a creative like mystery, like I love mystery stories where like there's all these pieces and you could have totally put it together. I think this is great, but unfortunately, you should, if you like read this or like watch this review, then we kind of spoil it. So,
Nah.
yeah.
The thing is, I think most people are going to be.
I still think it's
Yeah.
worth reading. Though,
Yeah, I still think it's worth reading. Yeah.
Or if you're watching this review to buy this book for a family member or a friend.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. As for my own personal rating, I'm a sucker for good prose, and I really like the good story. As we talked about it, though, I did realize some of the faults with this book. How like the Leviathans really didn't do anything, and there were some parts that were just like, you're right. It could have been more fleshed out or have gone harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I am very curious to the rest of this trilogy, though, and I think I will really like books that this author has also written.
Yeah, I do. Like, if you did like this, I do give, say you should give Foundry Side a try. Like, it's very different, and the anime roots it takes from is different, but you'll know what it is when you get there. I think I said it before, but I don't know. We can, when it comes out, I can book the sequel, A Drop of Corruption, on the calendar if we want to read it.
I want to see the entire empire crumble.
Yeah, it comes out in April, so
Yeah,
sometime after April.
when I finished it, I actually looked up on Libby when it was coming out, so I am actually looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll put that on the calendar then. Obviously, we can't read it next, but and I think maybe I'll try to read it like maybe I can get it. I might be able to read it early because I got connections, and then maybe I can chop it in half because it looks like it's gonna be a longer book than the first one. So
I think if we are gonna read another one of these, not only should we chop it up, we should totally do a thing where like we read to a certain chapter and then we post our like predictions before Anna reveals everything in the book reader
yeah,
chat
sure, yeah.
with like spoiler tags, and then we can read like what everyone else thought before the mystery was revealed. Like, could we piece it together?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It'd be really fun.
Cause the Sherlock part where I know how everything put together, we're definitely gonna get that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the best part.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That kind of makes my life easier now. Now I know what to pick for the future. One of the books anyway. I'm probably not gonna do it for April just because the book will have just come out. Or maybe we do it in April because it's more current then. I don't know. We can't do it for next month. So March is pick. I'm kind of going out, not on a limb. So I was like, this book is longer, so I'll pick something shorter. But this might be more dense. We'll see. I don't know yet. But I'd like to read Piranesi by Susanna Clark. It's actually a pretty popular novel, so you might have heard of it. But it's a novel set in a parallel universe made of hundreds of walls and vestibules that trigger a gradual loss of memory and identity to its newcomers. The story is told through the research notes of the narrator, and they are constructing the story of their own arrival as they explore the world. And it's like kind of, I think it's labyrinthine like Greek mythology, but it's also epistolary, which we haven't done yet. And it's a little bit like literary fiction, which we kind of got into with Sourdough, but I'd like to pick something better than Sourdough. So, yeah. And
Sourdough wasn't bad.
No, it was
like,
just okay.
I know, and I feel like this happens for all the food-based or bread-based, it seems.
Yeah,
Not
bread-based.
Because Dungeon Meshi was excellent. But all the bread-based stuff always seems to be half-baked.
I know.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Why?
Baking is great. Why can't we read it?
I know.
What a wild way to
Yes,
work in a
finish
complaint
baking
and
your
a pun.
bread.
Right.
But also finish baking your books, please. Gosh.
It is sourdough the mood.